Welcome to Module 2, Session 1, Designing Improvement Plans for SMEs. Here you will learn how to turn problems into structured solutions. My name is Chinyere Otuonye. I am a National Business Development Support Provider licensed by the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, and a Certified Digitalization Consultant by GIZ. I'll be your facilitator for this session. By the end of this session, you will be able to convert diagnostic findings into structured interventions, prioritize business problems effectively, design realistic improvement plans for small and medium enterprises, use simple frameworks such as the SMART goals, and develop a practical 30-day improvement plan. Our learning focus will be to convert diagnostic findings into structured, practical improvement plans. From diagnosis to solution. Recall from modules 1, where you conducted a business diagnosis. You were able to identify financial gaps, marketing weaknesses, operational inefficiencies, and structural issues. But by identifying problems, you've only done half the job. Now, as a BDSP, you must answer what should be done to improve the business. The diagnosis identifies the problem, while intervention designs the treatment. Principles of good improvement plans. A good improvement plan must be 1. Practical, where solutions must match the SME's capacity. For example, you provided a solution for the SME client to build a full e-commerce platform, which is actually might be wrong for that SME client because of the capacity. It is better to set up WhatsApp business catalog. This is something they can easily achieve. Prioritized by not attempting to fix everything. SME clients suffer a lot of challenges. So while you have identified all the challenges, prioritize minimum the top 3 high impact areas that needs to be addressed. Then you move on to allotting a clear timeline for every action that you have proposed to address the top 3 high impact challenge areas that the SME client has. Then you create something that is measurable, like increase in weekly sales, improving record keeping, or increasing customer inquiries. Prioritizing business problems. As a BDSP, you need to understand the impact versus urgency method. This will help you determine where to focus on first. So there are 4 different priority levels. In the table on screen, let's look at these priority levels. There is the high impact, high urgency problem level, where the action is to fix immediately. If it's a high impact, low urgency problem, then you plan strategically on how to fix it. If it's a low impact, high urgency problem, it's a quick fix. Please quickly fix it. When you now have a low impact and low urgency problem, you can ignore for now. So let's look at examples. Like where there is no sales record. This is a high impact, high urgency problem that needs to be fixed immediately. If the business needs a logo redesign, it is a low impact and low urgency problem. If it's a new office space, it is a low urgency and high impact problem that needs to be planned strategically. Using SMART goals. As a BDSP, you need to learn how to design SMART objectives for your SME client. SMART is an acronym that represents S for specific, where you clearly and you state clearly and define the goals that you want that business to achieve. M is for measurable, to track the progress of the business. A is achievable. It helps you set realistic goals for the business. R is relevant. This is referring to the problem, how you solve that problem if the problem is real. T is time bound, where you set a deadline on when that goal will be achieved. So if you now set a goal saying improve marketing, it is a weak goal because it is not smart. Let's now recoin this and make it a smart goal. Now we say create a WhatsApp business catalog and post product updates 3 times weekly for the next 30 days. This goal is now a smart goal. Structure of an improvement plan. Every improvement plan should have a structure. I've proposed a structured format on screen. So let's look at it in depth. Problem. Here you state the problem of that business that you're trying to address. And then what's the objective? What's the action steps that needs to be taken? Who is responsible for it? What timeline? Within what period that should that problem solving be completed? And what's the expected outcome? So there is an example on screen. Let's look at it. Where there is the problem of no financial records. Your objective is to introduce basic record systems, and the action steps to take to achieve that is to create a daily sales sheet. Who's to do this? The owner. What's the timeline to implement this? 2 weeks. And what's the expected outcome? You can now have an improved profit tracking. Each column must be completed for every intervention. Incomplete plans will lead to unclear implementation. Now let's delve into the different types of improvement interventions, because there are 4. First one is the financial systems. Here you aim to create a daily sales record, a monthly profit summary, and an expense tracking. Second is the marketing improvement, where you look at social media consistency, product visibility, and customer follow-up. Third is the operational improvements, where you look at the workflow structure, inventory tracking, and staff role clarity. And the fourth option is the structural improvements, where you look at the business registration and other formalization and licensing measures, then opening business bank account for the business, and pricing strategy development. So let's look at this case study of a small fashion designer. The small fashion designer business has the following issues: no financial records, inconsistent social media posting, customers complain about delayed delivery, and the owner works alone. So in this case, if I were to ask you, what would you prioritize out of all the issues that have been identified? From my own perspective, I identify 3. Let's look at the screen. You have a no sales record as the number 1 problem, then low visibility and delayed delivery. The next is to set the SMART objectives. So for the no sales record, I set the SMART objective of tracking daily revenue. Low visibility, the objective is to increase online presence. For delayed delivery, the objective is to improve workflow. Then what's the action we are to take? To address the no sales record and the objective of tracking the daily revenue, I now say for us to achieve that, we should introduce a sales notebook. If we want to increase online presence to solve the low visibility problem, we now should take the action of posting 4 times weekly on the social media channels that have been identified for that business. To address the delayed delivery problem, when I now say we'll increase, the objective is to improve workflow, the action to take there, I propose creating order tracking sheet. You will also do this, okay? So if you were to address the problem of this small fashion designer, would you address it differently? Common mistakes BDSPs make. First mistake is when they set unrealistic solutions. You are designing an intervention that exceeds the SME's capacity or available resources. Secondly is when they overload the plan, trying to fix too many problems at once instead of focusing on one top priority. Then you're ignoring limitations, where you're failing to account for the SME's resource and capacity constraints. Fourth is when you set vague action plans by writing unclear steps with no defined responsibilities or deadlines. It's very important to identify these common mistakes and avoid them when working with your SMEs. So for your field assignment, for each assigned SME client, review the baseline report you submitted last week, and from it, identify the top 3 problems using the impact versus urgency matrix. Then go ahead to develop a structured 30-day improvement plan. So we'll discuss and agree with your SME owner. Never you develop an improvement plan without their input. Remember, you are there to support their growth, to also address their problems and to help them improve on their business management. So when you're done with all of this, create an improvement plan table and a short explanation of your chosen priorities and submit privately. So the expected output of Module 2, Session 1 is that upon completion of this module, you should have a diagnostic baseline report, a structured improvement plan, and clear implementation actions. I leave you with this key message. Now, as a BDSP, you do not only identify problems, you should design structured pathways for improvement. Remember, good advisors describe problems. Great BDSPs design solutions. So we have come to the end of Module 2, Session 1. I remain Chinyere Otuonye, founder of Sparks Ventures Hub at Ogui Road, Enugu. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Visit our website at sparksventureshub.com. Like and follow this feed. Thank you very much.